So here we are, Friday afternoon. We're halfway through setting up at Donington Park for the 2-day ACU Streetstock Championship. I think it's about round 5, something like that. So we've come into the cafe now for refreshments. The paddock is filling up rapidly, ready for the weekend. We're halfway through setting up and it's time for a drink. Quite a unique weekend as myself and Shannon are lining up on the grid for 2 races each day in the same race on pretty much the same model bike. Time for a cappuccino. Alright guys?
I'm eating yet again.
Shannon's eating yet again, she says. That's her words, not mine. Isn't that right, Mrs. H? Here we are again, Donington Park, Friday afternoon. We're now pretty much set up. Just going to give you a bit of an overview on what's involved in a setup in a paddock. We always put our flag up, even if it's just an indication of where our setup is, because walking around the paddock, there's so many motorhomes, vans, caravans, it's quite easy to lose your way. Got one end piece of the gazebo which will go on here this evening on the end to close everything up. A good gazebo is worth its weight in gold in the paddock. Weatherproofing, if it's too hot you've got somewhere to shelter under, to work under, and basically store your bikes. Fold-away chairs, another essential. Bike covers for both bikes, which they'll be tucked away during the night. So Mr. H's bike and Mrs. H's bike. Leathers hanging up in the awning. We've got the Honda banner up, giving that professional look. Set of wets there for Mr. H's bike. Pretty much ready to just pop in, check tyre pressures, away you go. It pays to be very organised at race meetings, otherwise you just get yourself stressed out over things. Front paddock stand, which will be used for both bikes if we have to change onto the wets or do any alterations or adjustments. Set of wets for Shannon's bike. These clip together mats are really useful, come in handy, especially if you end up having to work on wet ground, something to kneel on. You can see I've utilised them here on my bike, while Shannon gets the posh paddock mats, race ready. So yeah, we've got a box of spares. You can see in there we've got different end cans. Always advisable to carry spares that are likely to break, get damaged or scuffed if in the event of an incident where the rider is perfectly okay and you can still get out. At least then you can fit new parts of the bike and get back out there. Spare slicks, we've got one rear slick for each bike and one front slick for each bike, spares. Top quality engine oil, both bikes. More spares, bits and bobs in the boxes. Decent pressure gauge for your tyres, always aim for an accurate pressure gauge. You don't want wrong tyre pressures in your bike. Clock, handy, which we'll put up tomorrow morning. Handy so you know when it's your turn to go out. Lots of cable ties, essential part of a racer's paddock. Lots of spare Jubilee clips in there, nuts and bolts, etc. Another box of spares. You can never have too many spares at a race meeting, as long as you've got the equipment to carry it. Spare cloths, tie down straps, plenty of fuel there. Probably enough there for both days on these bikes because they don't use a massive amount of fuel. Fuel filler, another fuel filler jug there, a nice long spout on it. So there we go, that is an overview of what you need in a paddock. We are pretty much set up now, so scrutineering is happening today on the Friday between 2 and 7, so I think we're going to go and get our bikes checked and all our kit checked, because that does mean we don't have to stress about it in the morning and queue up in a big queue, especially if it's raining. Whilst at the moment the sun is shining and the paddock is glorious at the moment. It's very sunny, very busy. So we will be back soon. Just been up to sign on. Now we're going to go back and get our leathers on, the bikes out, and get through scrutineering. So that's all done instead of doing it tomorrow morning. Shannon's using our transponder for this weekend, so I've hired one, which is this little red flashing thing. Got my signing on card, number 30. Shannon is 31. So yeah, heading back to the van now. Going to get kids up into our gear and get the bikes down to scrutineering. And then we're pretty much done for today. Saturday morning, time for some breakfast in the paddock. Bacon rolls, cereals, coffee. And then it's back to the setup to get things ready for practice. So overcast at the moment, but it's dry and quite warm. Daddy. So we'll see how the morning goes. Daddy, yeah? To film the race car. There is a Formula 1 car on display over there. Okay, so that's qualifying done. Nice and steady. For me, first time out on this bike, first time I've ridden it. So basically just a bit of a chance to check it over, make sure it's going okay. Bed some brand new slicks in as well. It seems alright. I'm changing the gearing because currently got a 14 tooth sprocket on the front. So we're going 15 tooth. Of course we've got pork pie, nice cup of coffee, tools are out. So yeah, we're going to change the front sprocket, which is in there, to a bigger one. So we've backed off the adjuster at the back and the spindle nut, because obviously you've got to push the wheel forward to release the chain off. Shannon's done qualifying. Her bike was fine because that was absolutely fine after Mallory, so we haven't really had to do anything to that apart from give it a good check over and fit a new chain guard to it at the back, because the one previously was bent, which was clipped on the curb on I said wieners and bent the whole thing, so we fit a new one. So yeah, we're going to get this done. It's very nice here today. The sun is shining a little bit on and off. It's quite warm. So yeah, we'll get this done and then we will head towards our first race of the day, which isn't actually until around about 2 o'clock I think, or even after. So we've got quite a break. Transponders are fitted. I've hired one for the weekend because we haven't got two, one for each bike. So Shannon's using the number 1 transponder, which is ours. That's Shannon's. So yeah, there we go. So race 1 done. Well, done for Shannon. Shannon finished her race. There was an issue with mine on the warm-up lap. It was bogging down and just wouldn't pick up any revs. And coming back onto the line, I noticed a little bit of fuel inside the bottom of the belly pan. So it's like it's flooded. So the fuel was down inside there. So I've got the carburetor off it. We're going to make a couple of adjustments, fit a new fuel filter. Just checking the main jet on the carburetor. It's got a 125 size jet fit at the moment. We've got a spare carburetor, but we're not going to fiddle around with that. We won't really have time. So I'm going to put another fuel filter on and just see if we can sort it for the second race. We've got a bit of time in our hands, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, Shannon got another finish. Well done to her. All good. Her bike is going good. Using them tyres, as you can see. So let's crack on with this one. I've got a nice cup of coffee being made for me, so all is good. See if we can get it out for the second race. But this bike is pretty much untried really, because I've not ridden it since, well, I've not ridden it before this meeting at all, or tried it, so it's going to want a bit of setting up and getting right for me, and of course it needs to be able to finish a race, so we'll get on to it. Day 2 at Donington Park, a bit breezy this morning, but it's dry now after quite a lot of rain early this morning. We've just been out to watch a little bit of the practice. Just a couple of things to do to the bike, a general check over. In second race yesterday, had an issue with my left gear change footrest, which as you can see became very loose, causing gear change to be a bit of a problem. So I'm going to fix that now and take the bolt out from the back and use some locking thread solution, which will keep that in place and stop it working loose. So yeah, that's to do. But apart from that, all is good. We are looking forward to a good day of racing at Donington Park. Hopefully it will stay dry, but we have got sets of wets just in case. There's Shannon's set, and there's a set for flight number 2, my bike. So there we go. Just leaving Donington Park. It's been an awesome weekend. Shannon's riding is coming on leaps and bounds. She's done great. So we're heading off.